On the 5th of March 2019, the Bernabeu fell silent, as Schone's curling free kick perfectly nestled just under the crossbar, leaving Real Madrid's Courtois totally helpless. It was Ajax's fourth goal of the night, as this young group of players had outclassed Real Madrid across the pitch during their Champions League round of 16 clash. The result shook the globe, as Real Madrid fell to their worst home defeat in European competition history, but it didn't shock the Ajax players. After the game, 19-year-old captain Matthijs de Ligt would say this was just the beginning, and that they weren't done yet on their quest for Europe's ultimate prize. During the game, 8 of the starting 11 players were either Ajax Youth Academy graduates or had featured for Young Ajax, a testament to the club's philosophy. Their group stage performances in the Champions League were impressive as well, but no one expected what they would go on to do. A steamroll victory over Real Madrid in their own home, brushing aside a Juventus team armed with Ronaldo and putting Tottenham Hotspur to the sword in England. A largely unknown squad of teenagers had stormed through Europe, showing the world what they could do. Now, Europe's elite clubs were circling for the players, and Ajax was bracing to lose them all. Just one season later, more than half of the squad had been moved on, including the team's stars like De Jong, De Ligt, Ziyech and Van de Beek. And a few more seasons down the line, this golden squad was simply a memory, as Ajax had lost their homegrown youth talents to other clubs. Fast forward to their replacements, and Ajax had slumped to the lowest league position in its history. After a 5-2 loss to PSV in the league, they were now in last place. On the surface, it's easy to see how this could have happened. Why would a club sell all their stars in one fell swoop? It's tempting to point to this fact as the reason for the sudden drop-off. However, Ajax has been selling their youth prospects and key players for decades and rebuilding each season. This is what their entire club is armed for. It's happened many times before, after successful seasons, as Ajax has filled the ranks of European top clubs with some of the most exciting talents in footballing history. They're specialists in this approach, and they aren't the only club doing so. And for these clubs, and Ajax, selling quality homegrown players is the ideal outcome of a successful season. The reality is that this slump was due to more than just player sales, and there was much more going on here than meets the eye. In a footballing landscape littered with galacticos, royal money, and clubs run by corporations, there is a unique place that exists for selling clubs that approach football from an entirely new direction. To understand this, we can travel to the Greek island of Corfu. This is where Ajax built an overseas youth academy in 2011, in the very place steeped in mythological stories related to their namesake, as Ajax was looking to grow their footballing talent farm across the globe. This was followed by talent searching programs in South Africa and the United States. And along with their extensive scouting networks around Europe, they've picked up players from far-flung places like Brazil, Mexico, and Ghana. These players will be brought to their home youth development complex in Amsterdam, where their main stadium is aptly named De Toekomst, or The Future, where the club's rich history of expertise, strategies, and tactics will be taught to these young talents around the clock. They aren't strangers to losing these players either, as they are developed and loaned out to other clubs often, set on their way with a depth of footballing foundation to build from. For a club like Ajax, player development is a key part of their commercial income. In the 2019 season, they earned €275 million from player sales alone, out-earning any team in the English Premier League. Player sales are their top revenue stream, surpassing all other commercial income combined, with over €500 million earned in the past decade. Often, they have no choice but to sell. Modern football laws favor players, especially after the Bosman and Webster rulings, which ensured free transfers if clubs don't sell players before their contracts end. It is their way of surviving the modern game. And as we've seen from the 2019 crop of youth talent, being only an Onana-sized fingertip away from playing a Champions League final, it works. But why would clubs go about it this way? Why not use those hundreds of millions to invest in ready-made talent? Football clubs earn their money through matchday income, broadcasting contracts, and commercial streams. But for a lot of clubs, these figures are reduced for a variety of reasons. Europe's biggest leagues pay big chunks of cash for simply being in it. The Premier League broadcasting deal pays every club massive amounts, whether you've come first place or last. In comparison, Ajax and other Eredivisie clubs earn just an average of 4 million per club per year. Broadcasting income is a direct indication of the types of other commercial income clubs can expect from sponsorships, advertisers, and media deals. And match days are a huge money printer as well. A stadium teeming with fans means tickets have been sold, and the money goes into the back pocket of the club. But this isn't always the case. A lot of clubs don't own the stadium. This means they have to either give up small portions or large cuts of ticket sale revenue to the venue, which keeps it for themselves. Operating costs can be massive. Ajax has been trying to purchase their home ground for years. There's a reason why clubs are willing to put up huge sums of money to simply invest in either purchasing or building a new stadium from scratch. If we take a quick trip down under, you'll find the Wellington Phoenix and their iconic home ground, the Cake Tin. No one expected the Phoenix to compete for the league title in 2024, but they came close, nearly winning the Premier's title and almost making it to the final. Like Ajax, the team was immediately flooded with offers for their talented squad. Currently, 8 key players have already moved on, leaving fans facing another rebuild, which they aren't happy about. However, this isn't the worst outcome for the Phoenix. They are in a league with limited commercial income, so selling players is crucial for their financial health. They don't own the Cake Tin, and the operating costs are massive. For them to even break even on a match day, they need to sell around 9,000 tickets, a figure hard to get in the A-League. So the development of players is a huge monetary income for clubs, especially those in leagues or situations that require them to do so. But it's not always only for financial reasons. It can also be part of a club's philosophy. Athletic Bilbao, just like Ajax, have a huge focus on the development of youth. They have had an unwritten Basque-only player policy since 1912. Every single player must be from these small valleys in the north of Spain. Athletic Bilbao is one of the only 3 clubs never relegated from the Spanish top flight, alongside Barcelona and Real Madrid. They've achieved this with over half of their playing minutes each season coming from youth academy graduates, despite playing in a league with the financial means to buy first-team ready players globally. Like Ajax, their philosophy runs deep, with a football network covering the entire Basque region. They say that when a boy is born here, the club's colors are hung above the hospital bed, preparing him for a future trial with the club. And the club's success once again shows that this approach can work in today's footballing world, outside the pitch and on it. So what happened to Ajax? Why did they suddenly drop to last place? Well, like we've seen, the key driver of these clubs is their philosophy, and this will need to be brought to life by the backroom staff, the suits, directors, and advisors. And this is where it all fell apart for Ajax after the 2019 season. A key part of the Ajax talent conveyor belt was Mark Overmars. As the director of football, he was behind many of the player recruitment decisions the club would make and understood its philosophy and direction. Unfortunately, outside of football, he wasn't as savvy of a gentleman, as he was fired in 2022 for sending inappropriate images to female colleagues. He was subsequently fired by Ajax and barred from world football by FIFA. His role at the club was left vacant for a period, and finally his replacement, Sven Misseltat, made recruitment decisions not in line with the club's philosophy. Sven had spent over $100 million on new players, and almost all of them did not fit into the Ajax mold. He was fired after only 3 months in the job. And that's when the club paid the price, fielding a team full of promising youth academy talents that had not been adequately supplemented with quality first-team players. It wasn't the sale of their golden generation, it was the failure of the backroom staff to implement the working model effectively. A model implemented by clubs around the globe every single day, as each club is trying to stay afloat in their unique footballing landscape. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Have a great day and goodbye.